Today I'm making chocolate scones. These are really yummy. They go great with a cup of tea or coffee, or just eat them like that. They're delicious. And here are the ingredients that we need. 2½ cups of flour, 2 eggs, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 cup of chocolate chips, 1/3 of a cup of cold butter, 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream, and that's whipping cream. And for our egg wash, we're using 1 egg yolk with 1 teaspoon of water. And this is optional, so I'm going to use it today, but you don't have to use it. But anyway, these are the ingredients, so let's get started. I just wanted to clarify something. I'm using salted butter here in this recipe. If you're using a non-salted butter, you want to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt to this recipe. Alright, so I'm going to continue setting up and I'll be back. Alright, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to mix our cream, eggs, and vanilla. So I'm going to crack my eggs. That's 1. There's 2. We'll get those in our bowl. Mix those up. And then I'll pour in our cream. This is heavy cream. This is 35% cream. So this is going to be a very rich scone or biscuit, as some call them. And we get that all out of there. Alright. And our vanilla. So that's it for that part. So we're just going to put that aside and I'll get set on the next section. Alright, our next step is to get the flour into our bowl. And we're going to take all of our butter, which is chilled, and I'm going to get it in there. And I'm going to use my pastry cutter or pastry blender, and I'm going to push down, and this is going to cut all the butter into the flour. And we want to have tiny little pieces of butter that are coated with flour. And this is the magic of making good biscuits and scones. So I'm going to continue doing this, and I'll be back. And what's good about this little pastry blender is that you can actually grab the sides and pull your flour and butter mixture back into the middle so that you can really make sure that you've got every little bit. And just pull like that. Alright, that looks pretty good. So the next step is we're going to get our sugar in and our baking powder, and we're going to throw all of our chocolate chips in as well. And I'll just give that a little stir. Alrighty, so what we're going to do at this point is we've got all of our mixture here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch from using my whisk over to the wooden spoon. So I'm just going to mix this around a little bit just to make sure that it's all still nicely incorporated. Oh man, that looks good. Okay, so we're going to take our wet and pour it into the dry. And I've got my oven going at 450 degrees. It's been preheating now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and start folding it in. Fold it, mix it, but we don't want to whisk it. Hey, I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Alrighty. You can see it's getting nice and thick here. This is what we want. We don't want to overwork this dough. Okay. At this point, that's good. Just gonna grab another spoon and just get this off of here. You could do this with a couple of forks as well if you want. So there we go. Just want to make sure I got everything. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this dough now. Oh, was that a little loud on the camera? We're going to take this dough now and we're going to put it down on our work area. So put a little flour down. And get all of this down here. And there we go. And we're going to start getting it all together. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do exactly like I would with a pie dough. You know, when we're making a pie shell, I just want to knead it a little bit just to get it kind of together. There we go. Then I'm just going to push it down. If you want, you can get a rolling pin like I've got here. And you can just give it a little bit of a roll. Now remember the egg yolk that we had before. Well, we're going to brush that over the top of these when we have cut them all up. So that'll be our final step before we go in to the oven. And also what you could do, which is an option, is you can take turbinado sugar or just regular table sugar, white sugar, and you can sprinkle it on the top of them, which is nice as well. Alright, so that's it. So that was fast, wasn't it? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my little bench cutter here and I'm just going to cut these up. Any size you want. There are no rules. Those are nice sizes. How's that? How's that look? Good? Make sure we're on camera here. Alright, look at that. Alrighty. So, next step is I've got my baking tray. Let's put this over here. And I've got some parchment paper down. You don't have to use parchment paper. I just felt like using some today. So there we go. I'm just going to place all of these like that. Let's turn that one like that. Go. Alrighty. Oh, those look nice. Okay, so let's turn it that way. There we go. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go get our egg yolk. And there's a teaspoon of water in there as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix this up a little bit on the side. This is optional as well, you don't have to do it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Okay, so that's nicely mixed up. There we go. I just got a little brush and I'm just going to quickly brush all of these like this. So I'll speed the film up here a little bit because you don't want to watch me doing this for a minute. So we'll speed it up. And there we go. Alrighty. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of just regular old white sugar. So just take some sugar and just sprinkle it on there. There we go. A little bit of sugar on the top is kind of nice because biscuits like this are not supposed to be super sweet. So having that little bit of sugar on the top is a nice addition. So there we go, beautiful. Alright, so our oven has been preheating at 450 degrees and I'm going to pop these in 10, 11, 12 minutes. It all depends on your oven. So I'm going to pop these in and I'll be back when they're baked. Alrighty, so our scones are in the oven baking and I just wanted to show you I've got a little bit of egg yolk left and I also have the white from the egg. And if you're like me, you don't like to waste stuff. So what I do is I just grab a little bowl like this. I grab a little cooking spray. Just spray it like that. I pop in the white and the yolk. And that's no joke. Give it a little stir. And what I do is I just throw that in the microwave. I don't know, 20 seconds or something, until it just puffs up. And guess what? There you've got yourself a little tiny omelet. I do this sometimes on Saturday mornings, so it's a nice quick way to do an egg. So, you know, I don't like to waste, so there you go. Alright, so here's 25 seconds later. Look at that. Look at my little egg. Isn't that cute? Make up some toast, butter it, or put some margarine on it, and just pop that right on there. And there you go. You got breakfast. No waste. Beautiful thing. A little salt and pepper, and you're good to go. Woohoo! Oh man, those look good. Oh yeah. Okay, let me just zoom in a little bit here. So these were in for 12 minutes in my oven. Let me just zoom here. There we go. There we go. So 12 minutes at 450 degrees. Look at that. And they look good. Oh, look at that. Nice and golden brown on the bottom. That egg wash made them really come out nicely on the top. You can see the little bit of sugar that's melted on there. Yeah. Oh yeah, looks very good. Very good. Alright, so I hope you try this recipe out. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. And that's it for this video, so I'll see you next time.